seat all the way to the floor. The lowest red handle, pull it up and slide your seat up. Slide it up, slide it up. Okay, good. Lock it in. Yeah, there's kind of a dead spot. That's all you need. Now, what are the rudders going to do for you in this airplane?
They're going to help me turn on the ground and also help me turn in the air.
Okay, they're going to turn you on the ground. They're going to steer you on the ground. Once you're in the air, don't use them. Either take your feet off, or keep your feet on them, and don't press them.
Okay.
Why? Because we have something called the yaw damper. That's going to work your rudders in flight. So you don't have to work them in flight. When you land again, when we land, you're going to be steering here. Where are the brakes at on this airplane?
They're on the toes, aren't they?
On the top of the pedals, and you would press like that, and look, you can still steer while you're hitting the brakes. However, when we do the descent check, I'm going to ask you a question. I'm going to say, Captain, you want the auto brakes for the landing? And if you want auto brakes and say yes, I'm going to give you auto brakes 3. That means all you have to do is steer the airplane to the ground.
Okay.
You don't even need to use reverse thrust. The auto brakes, the brakes on an airplane, big enough to stop it pretty much all the time.
Okay.
Okay. So let's go to program what we need to program in this thing, right? And in real life, we would not be sitting on a runway programming it.
Yeah.
That's number 1. Number 2, these are all the checklists we're going to do for the flight. I'm not going to read these off the checklist. You're going to trust me to do them in my head to save time for you, because you guys are paying for this. So, let's go ahead and first of all tell the airplane where we are. And do you want to program it, or do you want me to do it?
I want you to do it.
Okay.
Because I'm not used to this.
That's all right. So we're going to put KIAD, right? That's what you told me where we're starting. So we've set the IRSs. What are the IRSs? That's the thing that navigate for us. They're little gyroscopes. Every time you move a gyroscope, if it's straight up and down, it tilts. Well, these gyros know that every time it tilts, they record that as movement. And it adds up. It turns out we use nautical miles. Okay. So we're going to go to the route, and we're going to go KIAD. And where are we going? What's the
KDCA.
KDCA? What runway are we on? It says 1L.
1 left.
So why don't I just type in 1L?
So that means we're heading to the north, right?
Yes, we're taking off to the north.
Okay.
The river is over there. I'll show you on a map if you want to orient where you are. But Reagan Airport is over there.
Yeah, I remember.
Okay, if you know where it is, but I can show you on a map if you want to see where you're going to go.
Okay.
So we've done this page. Now we go to the performance. We need the weight of the airplane, which is that, plus the fuel. There's our gross weight, 140,900, 70 tons, just like I said. We need reserves, and what altitude would be a good one to fly after this?
I'd say about...
We're going to go to 4,000
4,000,
feet.
yeah.
The reason is, I want to give you a little flying lesson first. I want to give you a little practice before I shoot you on this approach.
Okay.
Because it's going to be hard flying a visual approach. There won't be a lot of backups, except what I'm giving you on the flight director. Now, let's go to the takeoff page. We're going to take off with flaps 1.
Flaps 1.
And notice there's no V speeds. Watch when I bring them up on the computer. The computer thinks about it, and it will then send them to both airspeed indicators. And there they are. Look.
Awesome.
The first one is not even shown. That's the one the computer calls out V1.
Okay.
I say rotate. And that's when you do your big, huge pullback. Relax the back pressure. Give me 10 degrees of pitch. I'll get gear and flaps up.
Now, what about the trim? Is it automatically going to do that?
Oh, we'll talk about that in a second. Then I'll bring the flight director up on this screen. Let's get your chair up 1 notch.
1 notch.
Yeah, that's the middle. I believe that's the top lever.
Right.
But you need to hold on to that. Hold that top lever, take your weight off the seat, and make the seat come up. See how my seat goes up and down?
Is it the red one? Or?
You know what? It's the top one.
Oh, okay.
The top button. Now push the seat down and let it come up. You have the top lever? Down. You're already pushing the plane down. Look, go this way with the switches. Make that noise here for a couple seconds. If you need to go up, you would go this way. But I don't want to hear that noise more than 2 seconds. The reason is, if you get on there and stay on there, your flying is going to look like this.
Roller coaster.
You're going to be going up and down. You're never going to get the altitude, because this is a very powerful trim.
Okay.
It's moving that whole tail in the back. All right, so we have our speeds. We know what you're going to do with that. Rotate to 10. I'll get your flight director up. Let's go to departure and arrival. Arrival at DCA. So which approach are we flying? Well, we don't have a visual in here, so we're going to do the LDA to 19.
LDA 19.
All right. However, when we actually we could do the RNAV to 19. Let's put the RNAV in.
RNAV.
For the heck of it. let's put that in and see what it shows. That will follow the river pretty closely. And these are the legs of that approach. Now I'm going to put a landing number in, okay? And for our backup for this approach, the course is really 180, but when we fly this approach, they want us to put this in for distance, which is 1099. So I'm just going to put that in. That's why this approach is one of the most difficult to fly, because you don't have direct backups to the runway.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
It's all
there's
visual.
nothing taking you to the runway. So we're just going to put that in there for now. We're probably not going to use it, and I might change it later on. But let me just make sure that we have everything in here I want. Okay?
Flight director.
And
Okay.
we do. So, are you ready to go, boss? Now,
Yes, sir.
This is the autopilot switch. When I ask you to put it on, you're going to let go, put that on, and the view in the front. Notice how it says FD, Flight Director? That means you're going to fly the Flight Director when I bring it up after takeoff. When you put autopilot on, it's going to say CMD, Command. It means he is flying the flight. That's what.
So I just
command
pressed
is.
that right there.
Just press that command button. You'll see those 3 letters pop up over there if you did it right.
Okay.
Okay, you'll see the letters command pop up there. If it's on Flight Director, that means that you're going to be flying the pink lines yourself. All right, so I've done the checklist, and Captain, before takeoff checklist is complete, the tower is cleared for takeoff. They've asked us to fly runway heading and maintain 4,000 feet. So, it's your airplane, boss. Ready to go?
Yes.
Okay, how about that red light? What is that?
That's the parking brake.
Take it off?
Disengage.
No. I want you to start to ease the throttles up, and then tell me to set the thrust. Just
Okay.
command me at some point when you want to set the thrust. And just say set maximum thrust.
Set
or whatever.
thrust.
Okay, thrust is set, boss. Hold on. You don't want them all the way in the firewall. Right there. We go to the little caret. We don't want to go up to the red line. Okay, Captain, you're steering the airplane with your feet. Airspeed's alive. Just the bottom of the pedals, not the top. 80 knots cross checks.
Cross check.
If you hit the top of the pedal, you'll accidentally drag a brake. It'll slow us down. Turn the volume down a little bit. Don't run off the runway. Rotate. Give me that 10
Rotate.
degree pull back. 10 degrees. Now relax the back pressure. Captain, I see positive rate of climb. Captain, you
Gears
gear
up.
Gears coming up, boss. Now, I can't get rid of that light. That's one of our simulator bugs. Just ignore it. Look at your airspeed indicator. You're between flaps 1 and up. What can you command me to do?
Flaps up, please.
Flaps up, you got it, boss. Captain, after takeoff climb check is complete, and you can fly the pink lines. So, Captain, the airplane is probably trying to force you up into the air now. So, you need to trim your nose down a little bit.
Nose
If
down.
you do it. I don't know. Only the pilot flying knows the need for trim. I'm going to bring your power back, get your speed back. Put that pink on the black.
Awesome.
Put that pink right on the black.
Right there.
Notice the airplane is a little bit sluggish, kind of heavy, and yet
Yeah.
it's also very stable, isn't it?
Very stable.
American 1, turn left heading 350, vectors for the approach to Dulles Airport. Grammy number 9 on the approach, American 1. It's real busy there today.
Real busy. Understood, tower. Wow. Here we go.
Remember, don't use the pedals, you don't need to. The wheel is all you need in a jet, basically. Unless you're doing a crosswind takeoff and landing, or if you have an engine failure, then you'd use the rudder. How's it feel so far? So like
Feels
your
great.
flight simulator?
A little bit more realistic than that, but mostly yes.
American 1, right 020. There, look at that. Notice when you turn the heading here, you have this long dashed pink line. We can use that to put it on points if we want to.
Now, does this aircraft have altitude callouts like 50, 40, 30?
It sure does. On the landing approach, you'll hear it.
Okay.
Captain, we're not climbing. We're kind of stagnant there. So put that pink on the
Okay.
black for me. Thank you very much, Cap. I appreciate that. One to go, boss. 3 for 4. And I want you to say that too.
3
Tell
for
me-
4.
Tell
Let's
me you
go.
noticed that. Both pilots respond to the altitude alerter, that C chord that comes up.
That's the one, right?
American 1, turn left heading 350 again.
350, left turn.
American 1.
American 1, roger.
Now, once you level up at 4,000 feet,
It's bugging out.
now the simulator is refreshing, and they told me that was fixed yesterday. If it hesitates, just keep flying when it does it.
Okay.
That's one of the caches that's getting filled up, they tell me. By the way, I'm not a computer programmer or an expert. I'm a pilot and a instructor. So when something goes wrong big with the computer, I call on the SimTech, hey, fix this thing. So you're just about at 4,000, altitude acquire. It's going to go to altitude hold, put the pink on the center of the black, get the plane trimmed out. I'll adjust your power to give you about 240 knots approximately.
There we go.
Very
Perfect.
good. Why don't you put the autopilot on, boss?
Autopilot, engage.
Is it on?
I don't think
Is it
so.
really on? Does it say command?
Command.
It's really on. Very good.
Awesome.
4,000 feet. American 1, turn right, 030.
030.
Spin it as fast as you want to the right or as slow as you want.
So is it doing it itself now?
You know why it doesn't matter what speed you turn? Because the airplane only turns one rate. I'm sorry, what did you say, sir?
It's doing it itself now?
Yes. Autopilot's flying the airplane. The only thing I'm doing is I'm setting the speed for you with the thrust. I've set the N1 at 65. I'm going to accept whatever speed we get. I don't care if it's high or low.
Okay.
Close enough. You know right now you can change the heading or altitude. Speed we can only change with throttles now. Okay?
Okay.
If we turn the other autopilot on and the auto throttles work, the airplane would know the auto land at our destination. It won't fly the river visual. It only flies ILSs.
ILS.
Okay?
Okay.
So, American 1, you know what the autopilot's doing and you know how to turn it on. American 1, take the autopilot off. And American 1, I didn't hear the siren. What? You gotta get the right cadence of that. It's kind of like, if you go too fast or slow, it doesn't do it. You have to have the right cadence for that.
Okay.
In other words, the right beat for it to turn off. It's done like that on purpose.
Is it off now?
So you're hand flying.
Okay.
Autopilot is off. How do we know it? Because it says flight director.
Yep.
All right. Now, there's the flight director switch. Look, I'm not using my flight director. Oh my God, you don't have a flight director anymore. You can turn it right back on there. So if you don't want the flight director, you know how to turn it off.
Just turn it off like that.
If you don't want it, but if you
don't
want it,
freak out.
it gives you good information.
Okay.
American 1, turn right, heading 060. So I do that for you because you're hand flying. American 1, descend maintain. Oh, by the way, if you were to go on autopilot now, you would be taking all these instructions and doing them yourself. Just so you know. You can hand fly this, or you can have the autopilot do it under your direction. It's up to you how you want to do it, Captain. But I'm doing the descent checklist now. American 1, this is a radar vector for the approach to Reagan Airport. So you want to hand fly it from here out?
Yes, sir.
Okay, American 1, descend maintain 3,000. Captain, you see 3,000?
3,000.
I'm going to start you down. So I got the power off. American 1, turn right heading 090 now.
090. American 1.
So now if we put the peak on the black, we are going down at 700 feet a minute, approximately, because that's what I put in right there. 700, 800 feet a minute.
Okay.
And we want to slow down a little bit. 1 to go again. Call it out for me.
1 to go.
Okay. American 1, we're going to slow you to 220 knots.
220.
American 1, right turn heading 120.
Heading 120 for American 1.
So Captain, I'm doing the descent checklist, and the only question I have for you is, do you want the auto brakes on the landing?
No, thank you.
No auto brakes? It's
No
off.
brakes. We're off.
Very good. So it's
Easy
manual
reversals.
brakes?
Now, do the spoilers automatically come up, or do we have to?
We don't have spoilers in this airplane.
No
Even though you're
spoilers.
going to hear me say spoilers armed, they would have to be armed to come up on landing.
Okay.
This simulator was not happening. Sorry about that.
Oh, okay. That's
American
okay.
1, turn right heading 160. Sorry, 160 American
160 for American 1, roger.
American 1, maintain 3,000 feet, 220 knots. American 1, continue that right turn now, heading 175 degrees.
2,500.
No, that was a call out by the computer.
Okay.
You stay at 3,000. Why is that call out coming up? Because we're at 3,000, but there's terrain. We're only
terrain.
2,500 feet above the terrain. So
Oh.
that thing knows to call it out automatically.
Okay.
American One, do you want the river visual to runway 19er?
River visual, runway 19er, American.
Okay, American One, we'll get you on that river visual. Keep flying that present heading, American One.
2500.
American One, you can intercept the 149-degree course and fly to the river. When you see the river, you are clear for the river visual. American One, you can follow the altitudes on here for that visual. And I'll talk you through that, okay?
Okay.
I don't expect you to be able to fly now. So we're going to that dashed white line, which is going to be the course that, and you're going to notice the river. Oh, I see a river right there, but we're a little bit too far out to get on it yet.
Okay.
Okay. We're about 27 miles from the airport.
Okay.
Right? But as we get closer to that, that might be the river you want. So.
Okay.
These maps, we can change the scale to see a different picture. See? You see a little different picture. Now you don't see those points as much. So that first point there, this is 2600, we're at 3000. That's close enough for a visual.
Okay.
We're above it. See the A there? It says that means 2600 or above. Well, we're at 3000, we're doing good. American One for the river visual, slow to 200 knots at this time. Captain, I give you 200. Captain, we need some flaps. You want 1 or 5?
Flaps 5, please.
Flaps 5, that's a good call. By the way, 1 would have worked too. I'm not giving you any big decisions. Captain, I'm starting to see some water as we get closer to that line of river up here. Do you think that's the river we want? Go to Washington?
Yes.
Yeah, I think that is. So he just said, fly this heading. Intercept the course. We intercept the course, how are you going to know it? You're going to see this diamond come over, and it's going to give you a straight line, but we're going to try to stay over the river and not fly that line all the way, because we want the river visual and not the LDA approach, or the RNAV approach, okay?
Okay.
We're going to do the river. In real life, they actually have you do this and then say, all right, stay over the river, or you're going to get shot down. In bad weather, you would fly that line electronically. In good weather, which is most of the time in Washington, we fly the river. How's our speed looking? Are we slowing down?
More or less.
Little by little, we're slowing down. American One, we're going to slow down to 180 knots.
180.
So, Captain, what do you want me to do with the flaps? Do you want the next notch?
Lower them down to 10, please.
10, flaps 10. That gives you great stall protection. So you're making me work on this too, because both pilots are working real hard when you do this approach to make sure you find the river and stay over it. Now look, we're less than 10 miles from intercepting. And I'll tell you when you're intercepting, and as you start heading in, you're going to get a real nice view of the river. I can actually see it out there. You can see where the band of green goes.
Yeah.
There's always green along rivers because trees and stuff grows. Captain, check altitude. I'll show you about 60, 80 feet low.
Okay, pulling up.
I'll set your thrust for you because you're at 180. That's the speed we want. So you can hear the engines revving up. They're going to hold that speed if you hold the pink on the black. A little bit slow, but notice we're not going to go below the flaps 10 speed because I'm not going to let that happen. So this approach is going to take a lot of looking outside on both of our parts.
Okay.
Okay? It's going to take a lot of looking out. By the way, in real life, once you've done this approach a few times, it actually becomes fun to do. But the first time you got to do it, and the captain or the check airman is on you. Come on, watch that turn. Get away from that shore. You're too close. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It can be nerve-wracking the first couple times. So don't let me upset you too much, all right?
Okay.
With my incessant harping on you to do a fine job. Well, Captain, I see a river up there, and we're just about to intercept that line. Looks like it goes up that way.
Okay.
I'm starting to see Washington out there. Oh
Yeah,
gosh, it's starting to come into view. And again, if the simulator should stop momentarily, it's just Microsoft refreshing. Stay on it, it'll come on again and fly it.
Okay.
Notice our speed is good. You're clear for the approach, American One. And
clear for
we've
landing.
called the tower. You are also clear to land, runway 19. You're
American
number 1
One
to
clear
the
to land,
airport.
runway 19.
So look at that. We're just about to intercept, but there's the river. Whenever you want, you can start flying that line. Start flying down the river.
Okay.
We can start to come down. So what should be the next altitude we should come down to?
Let's go down to 2,000.
All right, I'll give you 2,000 feet. You ready to go down?
Ready to go
Here
down.
we go. Put the pink on the black. So I'm directing you down.
2,500.
Let me ask you this: do you think you could fly this approach with autopilot? And I'll tell you the answer is no. We manually fly because we can respond quicker than the autopilot sometimes. Look, there's your river.
Need to pull back my engines a little bit.
Okay, I'll do that for you.
Okay.
Okay. Our speed can go up a tiny bit. It's all right. I want you to be concerned with trying to get over that river once this centers and then flying over the river. And it has a meandering course. Of course, you can sightsee a little bit too on the way to Washington. I'll get your thrust back for you. And you level up at 2,000 feet. If I were you, I'd start turning toward the river right now because this is going to start to come in any second. Look.
Oh yeah, I see it.
But I want you over the river now. So this is just giving you the guidance. You're 10 miles from the runway.
Okay.
And because we're going down and slowing down, Captain, would you like to gear down now?
Gear down, please.
Okay, here we go. Gear down. And Captain, the next call we usually do with gear down is flaps 15.
Flaps
I'm going to
15.
give you flaps 15. Now, your flight director here is not going to give you good guidance unless you want me to keep you over the river with the heading. Do you want me to do that, or do you want to take the flight director off? It's your call.
Flight director off, please.
Flight director off. Now I don't have to worry about giving you guidance. Fly over the river. Make a left turn here. I want you to be over the center of the river. Just look at that river.
Follow the river.
Start a left turn.
Left turn, okay.
Start a left turn. And I'll give you an altitude of 1,000 feet. No lower than
1,000.
1,000 feet. I don't want you to go any lower than that.
What's the minimum speed?
Oh, I'm going to set that form right here at about 155 knots.
Okay.
Captain, I'm going to give you some more flaps. Now we just stay over that river. 1,000 feet, stay at 1,000 feet now. Don't worry about that call out. That's a false flight, a call out that we hear. Stay over the river. Look, there's the Washington Monument.
I see
One of the first things you notice. Now, I want you to tell me when you see the Pentagon. It's going to be on, it's actually right ahead of you.
Yeah.
But you're going to avoid the Pentagon. Okay, please? You want to avoid the Pentagon.
Watch the high rises in
Don't worry
Roslyn.
about the glide slope calls.
National Cathedral coming up on the left.
Okay. I'm going to give you more thrust to keep you in there. We're going to stay at about 150 knots.
Okay.
Try to stay over the river.
Okay.
Come a little bit to the left for me where that river meanders.
Follow the river out.
Okay.
Now, do you see those red lights way up there?
Yeah, that's
actually
the runway.
for the runway you're landing on.
Set the,
but
glide
you have to
slope.
go this way. You have to go this way now. We're not going to use any glide slope because you don't have any backup on there.
Okay.
So just stay over the river.
Throw us a little bit more forward, please. Thank you.
Glide slow.
Again, if you want to take over the throttles, you can, but I want you to do the best you can to stay over the river.
Yeah.
I'm going to bring them back. We don't want the speed to go up too high. You know, if you keep it within about -5 knots or +10, you're doing good. Now,
I'm going to try and avoid those buildings in Roslyn.
yeah, that's a good idea to avoid that.
I used to live in the area, so...
Okay, so you know this area really well.
Yep.
Okay.
I was actually here in March. Okay, so approaching 19, I can see runway 15.
That's runway 15. That is correct. So you didn't go to the wrong runway. Good.
Glide slow.
Okay.
Stay on the river, Alex.
Yeah.
Run to Kennedy Center.
Glide slow.
Okay, beginning right turn.
Glide slow.
Let's go right over that river.
Okay.
Where's the Pentagon at?
I see it.
Right there.
It's right
Okay.
over there.
Right there.
There's the 14th Street Bridge.
Okay. Which was hit in 1982 by a 737.
Oh, yeah, yeah. 14th Street Bridge, Air Florida Flight 90.
Now, because I'm seeing red over red, it means we're a little bit low. So I've come up on the thrust. I want you to maintain level flight until you are lined up with that runway.
Okay.
Okay, I think you're going to miss the Pentagon. Good, you're right over the river. Jefferson, I believe.
Jefferson, yes.
Jefferson, Mr. Jefferson lives there. And still red over red, so give it a little more thrust and just pull back a little bit. You have a little bit of airspeed to play with.
Alright, should I begin turning?
Approaching minimums.
I'm going to let you decide that.
Alright, gonna begin my turn. Throttles, please. Thank you.
200 minimums.
Minimums. That's my
Okay,
altitude.
so now just say landing.
Landing.
Slightly low. I'm going to keep your power in for you.
Okay.
Just, I want you to stretch it and get to that runway.
Go for gravelly points.
Stretch it.
Okay.
Again, we're a little low here. Now I'm going to ease on the idle. Are you ready? So go ahead and give me a nice landing. Make sure you see the runway in front of you on the landing.
Okay, push it.
There you go. I want to see the runway in front as you do your flare. Good, you're down.
Reversers.
Gently on the reverse. Good. Remember, manual brakes. Okay, you got 2 in reverse. 100 knots. 80 knots, come out of reverse gently. That's one thing you want to do with the reverse is, despite all those videos you've seen where people pull them up and down quick, that's not how we do it in real life. But you've stopped us. You stopped us before the crossing runway. Man, you did a great job. You did a really nice job.
Awesome.
Right. Well, because you did such a nice job, I'm just going to do one more thing with you, if you don't mind.
Sure thing.
Okay. And again, I don't know if this is going to work or not from here, but at any rate, your gear's down, your flaps are full.
Flaps
what
full.
I want you to do is give you that speed there. I'm going to give you that thrust setting. I'm going to start the simulator going. I just want you to, if you can, fly the ILS. Again, we don't have a glide slope for some reason. That should be our, maybe when we start flying that will come up. But I'm going to start this thing going, and then we're going to see if you can take over and land it. Okay?
Okay.
So let me get it going first.
So we're on autopilot
Yeah.
right now?
No, you're hand flying. You take the airplane. It's your plane. Fly the ILS. So take on the flat. I'll get your speed adjusted. Don't worry about the speed. Fly the instruments. Get me on the ILS. You're clear to land runway 1, Captain. You have no auto brakes, and your reverse thrust levers don't work anymore.
Okay.
So there's no auto brakes. You have to use manual brakes.
Manual brakes.
And use trim now. It may not be trim because I put you right on the approach. So American 1, runway 1, you are clear to land. Winds are calm.
Clear to land, runway 01, American 1, winds come.
And you can look out if you want to. I just wanted you to get the flavor of flying ILS on the flight director in this thing.
There's the Wilson Bridge, just 12 o'clock.
So you know all the landmarks around there.
Yeah, grew
So
up here
that's
for 10
great.
years.
Well, he was born in D.C.
Yeah, just because we were a little ahead of schedule, I'm giving you an extra little ILS landing here. So
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you so much.
notice you're flying these needles, which are flying these diamonds.
Oh yeah.
There's our Mr. Approach altitude, so obviously we're going down. Speed slightly high, I'm adjusting it, that's okay. That's not going to be a problem in this airplane. 1,000 feet, gears down to the green, flaps are forward in the green light, auto brakes are off, auto throttle's off. Captain, you have a nice approach, you're clear to land this airplane, that runway.
Okay.
Before landing checklist complete. So that is the real before landing checklist at 1,000 feet that I didn't do out there for you.
Yeah.
Because we didn't have a good sequence on that visual to do it.
Yeah.
So that's another reason I'm giving you this, to show you a little more ordered sequence. Okay, Captain, coming up 500 feet, you're sinking about 800 feet, nice approach.
Glide slope.
Captain, you're kind of low on the glide slope now. See that? And that's
Yeah,
why you're going to
glide slope.
get that glide slope warning.
Yeah.
The only way to fix it is to put the pink on black and get that back over there.
Okay.
Once that warning starts going off, it doesn't stop unless you get the glide slope. Notice it's going to stop because it knows you're going toward the glide slope. Now, the throttles are yours this time. At 100 feet, idle them.
Idle.
When the computer calls on 100. 200 feet,
Minimums.
minimum's landing. At 100 feet, idle the throttles. Give me a nice landing. Idle the throttles. The airplane floats down. And make sure you see the end of the runway the whole time you're doing the round out and flare.
Flare.
Good, you're down. Now, you don't have reverse, I want you to use the brakes.
Brakes.
That's all you have to stop this airplane is the brakes. Can you stop it before you run off the end of the runway?
Brakes full.
Okay. Don't steer with the wheels, steer with your feet. 80 knots. So do you think you can make it down without reverse thrust?
Yes.
Yeah. We can land without reverse thrust 99 times out of 100. So why did I use it 99 times out of 100 in my flight career? For the same reason people climb Mount Everest. It's there, okay? But we don't really need them. Sometimes they give us a little help at high speeds when we're landing at places like LaGuardia, 7,000 feet, Orange County, 5,700 feet.
Oh yeah.
So how did you like what you did today?
It was awesome.
Did you have fun?
Yes.
Well, I discharged my duties then as giving you a fun session. But you learned a little more about flying, maybe. You already came in here with a ton of information, I'll tell you right now. You came in here more prepared than some pilots who come in here. So you kind of knew how to fly the flight director, you kind of knew what's going on. So again, our computer lacks in some areas. You know, we don't have speed brakes on here.
Yeah.
Our quadrant, you see how loose it is?
Yeah.
We're getting a whole new quadrant in a few months. And I'm
Awesome.
told they will have speed brakes on that quadrant. So we don't have as much realism as we do in real life. You did most of this hand flying. I would have had people fly the first part of an ILS on the autopilot. and then click it off to land. The reason is, when you click that autopilot off, guess what the autopilot leaves you with? Leaves you with a trimmed airplane. That's the best thing about the autopilot. George, as we call him, he leaves you trimmed. So if you put George on and the airplane's out of control, George will pretty much straighten you out. When you take George off, you have a nice, easy airplane to fly. But you did most of it hand flying. So you were tied to this instrument visually and tied to this yoke. I was doing all this. On autopilot, it's much more relaxed. You just set stuff here, allows us to look outside, see a little bit more. It doesn't divert our attention as much as hand flying. You were glad that you had a guy like me in there helping you out, because you can see when the guy is hand flying, one guy is hand flying. Other pilot's workload is higher, because he's got to keep up with communications, he's got to keep up with navigation. There's a lot of stuff to do.
Oh yeah.
Okay? And you saw how I was doing that today. Any questions on anything we did today?
No, this is absolutely amazing.
Slide your chair back before you get out. I'm glad you had fun and liked it. Did you enjoy watching what you did back there?
That was awesome.
Kind of interesting.
Thank
huh?
you. Yes.
Okay.